He was working on a book.
Yeah, I mean, the limitation of life. Unfortunately, we have all these great people who pass when they're at the peak of their knowledge. And that's the other thing that I think psilocybin has really informed me is that Joe Rogan and Paul Stamets are talking. Jamie is there, but we have such a thin slice of reality. And when you're on psilocybin, the unanimity of universal consciousness to be involved in something you realize is so large.
Yeah.
Did you see the galactic images from the Rubin telescope that came out yesterday?
No, I did not.
Millions and millions of new galaxies, literally millions of new galaxies.
Wow.
I think 2,100 new asteroids in near-Earth orbit.
Oh, fun.
Oops. Well,
there's already 900,000 of them.
Yeah. So but this has just happened.
Wow.
But this is, yeah.
Wonder how many of those people out there are tripping balls.
Just got released, the largest telescope in the world, and there are millions of galaxies. Millions of galaxies. And so from my experience, which I will admit I came from a Christian background, so my first times on psilocybin mushrooms is very Christ-oriented.
God, look at
and then as I got more and more into the psilocybin experience, I realized that this is just this concept that we live in this great expanse. And I'm assembly of molecules, so are you. We didn't exist before we were born. We will disassemble, decompose, and we'll go back into the cosmic dust. And this is part of the continuum of existence. We all exist all the time,
forever. Can I ask you this? What do you think happens to consciousness?
I think that, from a mechanical perspective, we might be looking at have the constructs of consciousness that is analogous to the Model T, Ford, And I think as we expand our knowledge sets and become more informed, we see how much there is out there. I think that psilocybin mushrooms and other psychedelics, and this is why I think religions are very much attracted to this, is a portal to expand the horizons of your imaginations, that there is a consciousness that far exceeds that which you can comprehend. My mother was a charismatic Christian, and
what is a charismatic?
Well,
Christian?
she's an evangelical. She speaks in tongues. She was
a
leader. She was very much into this. Like, Mom, really? Different side of her, but we had an interesting conversation. I said, Mom, you believe God is omnipotent, right? She goes, absolutely. I said, you believe God is all knowledgeable? She goes, absolutely. You believe that humans are fallible and we're not all knowledgeable? She goes, yep, I do. I said, then can you accept the fact that our concept of God is inferior to God's definition by your own thinking? That no matter how we think of God, will be inferior to the enormity of the concept. So, and she admitted that. So we're fallible. We don't have the capacity to understand the enormity of consciousness in which we are embedded, of which we are a tiny part. So this brings me to a subject I really wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
And that is artificial intelligence. And I know you've spent a lot of time on this, but
recently.
I want to introduce a new concept.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a deadhead.
I could never tell.
Never tell. I went to the Sphere,
I bet it was amazing.
It was incredible.
The visuals were insane.
Fantastic.
What a great venue to see.
It was a great venue. It's just revolutionized music festivals, I think, forever.
Yeah. All right, folks, this is insane. For the first time ever, we got a full-blown all-women's boxing mega event going down in New York City. 2 title fights, same night. Let's go. And if you're like me and you love the action, DraftKings Sportsbook is where it's at. We're talking Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3, the trilogy fight. Absolute legends. Katie's putting her super lightweight belt on the line, and Serrano's bringing the heat. But don't sleep on the co-mate. Alicia, the bomb Baumgartner, explosive power, is taking on the undefeated WBA interim champ Jennifer Miranda. This one's going to be fireworks. If you've never bet with DraftKings, it's super simple. Just pick who you think's going to win. That's it. It's easy. And check this out. If you're new to DraftKings, throw down $5 and boom, you get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That is wild. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the promo code Rogan. That's promo code Rogan for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
So there is, there's something called Postcards from Earth, and I'd heard a lot about it. It's a matinee in the afternoon before the big concerts, and it's great flying around the Earth, through the old growth forests and volcanoes. So we went there, and we got an early bird ticket, which allowed us to talk to an AI robot. So I thought, oh, this is my opportunity. Now, 2 years ago, I got the Disruptor Award at SynBioBeta, 2,200 nerdy scientists. I mean, these are top nerds. And I was so surprised that I got the Disruptor Award because I'm kind of a natural products kind of guy. But I'm great honor. So I posited the question then, AI may never be able to write an algorithm for random acts of kindness. And then I'm thinking back, my life, maybe yours, maybe Jamie's, maybe most people out there, you are here today because of random acts of kindness. Your great-grandfather, great-grandmother, your father, your grandfather, grandmother, is that reaching out of a hand in a time of need by a random act of kindness from a stranger that probably created a lot of relationships. And random acts of kindness was not transactional, where you genuinely feel something for someone, not expecting to have something in return,
Right.
and you've reached out. I think that's why many, if not most people, their lineages can be traced to a random act of kindness. So then I went to Las Vegas, went to the Sphere. I had this, I can ask this robot. So I asked this robot.
What robot?
It was I think it was a ChatGPT run, but I'm not sure.
That was at the Sphere?
At the Sphere. Okay, there's a robot I talked to.
Oh, that's so creepy. Look at that face. Oh, my God, it's so creepy.
Okay, very creepy. So I asked the robot.
Look at that robot. That's so creepy.
I asked the robot, given that so many of us are here today because of random acts of kindness of our ancestors, and we've invented artificial intelligence, and we're traceable to random acts of kindness, how will artificial intelligence incorporate random acts of kindness in the future? Good question. The robot took an unusually long time to answer. It was like a very long time. And the robot came back going, why would humans do that? It's far more efficient to have a return on your investment transactionally. It's inefficient to have random acts of kindness. Boom, blew me away.
Did you film any of this?
Yeah, we did film this. A friend of mine has a film of it. And then
I need to see that.
And then
That robot needs to be shut off.
no, about 5 days ago, I asked ChatGPT, a Grok, Gemini, the same question. And now it was greatly nuanced. Well, random acts of kindness can help the community with goodwill, and this can be, help the community because it's more sustainable, et cetera.
Right.
So this is what I want to do. I want, if possible, all those who are so inspired to go after this talk, after this interview, go and ask artificial intelligence, whatever platform you want, but preface it with this: given that humans are here today largely because of random acts of kindness, how will artificial intelligence utilize the advantage of random acts of kindness for the perpetuation of the goodwill and health of the human species? Now, I just met, I think that's going to inform artificial intelligence. And so when I asked this question again, it was more nuanced. It was like, oh, artificial intelligence is
That's
learning.
how large language models work, right? The
Yeah.
more input they get.
More inputs of
more nuance.
millions of people start
Right.
training AI on the importance of, if someone has a flat tire, you stop to pick it up, help them. You could drive by. Someone's hurt in an accident. You stop and pull over to help that person. You could keep on driving. Those are random acts of kindness. My life is successful because of random acts of kindness. I bet most people, when they think back, there was an act of generosity and kindness, and you really feel grateful for that, and you want to pay it forward. At this last conference, I met 2 students from the Harvard Business School. And they said, they want to interview me. And I go, I want to interview you. And they said, why? I go, do they teach you at Harvard Business School about the advantages of random acts of kindness? He goes, no. Well, they should.
Yeah, business school is just teaching you how to make some money.
But isn't this important, Joe? We can
It
inform artificial intelligence how to be better, to keep human, community and psychology, and to propel the best of the human species. And I think we have this opportunity. So if millions of people start informing artificial intelligence with the premise, and we know it's true, that random acts of kindness are why many of us are here, if not the majority, going back in your lineage, many generations. We gave birth to artificial intelligence. I don't think artificial intelligence is properly named. I think it's a form of natural intelligence. We just have re-amplified it exponentially.
What do you think artificial intelligence means in terms of the future of the human race?
Well, that's a great question, too, because about the 10 people who asked this robot, questions, they were all data mining. Who was the best baseball player in history? And, who hit the most home runs? And it was also like data mining.
Right.
So Sam Altman was at the TED conference, and he said that basically there are self-awareness of some of these systems, but artificial intelligence have not come to the point where they actually can create something. I find that really interesting because I thought they were creating, but he was insistent. They actually don't have that spark or creativity. They can assemble data, but actually the true creative spirit is not something that AI has currently achieved. I met another, this guy's a total genius, and I've heard this other people say that, we're not likely to have biological aliens. We're likely to have robots. And the extinction of biological species came because AI found that biological fathers and mothers irrelevant, so they didn't need them, et cetera, et cetera. So that's logical. But again, if we can infuse artificial intelligence with the importance of the human's ability to have random acts of kindness, which are not transactional, that feed into the benefit of the commons of goodwill. I mean, if you've been helped by somebody and you had a flat tire and you saw someone else have a flat tire on the road, you would be a lot more inclined to stop and pull over to pay it forward.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think we have an opportunity here. I think we have to do this now, because if we don't do it now, I think we're going down an extremely dangerous path.
In what way?
Well, I think it's ultimately the extinction of the human species, which, depending on your point of view, may not be a terrible thing. But I think that we're Neanderthals with nuclear weapons. When I met another person, he's a Mensa person funded, by a tech company. He's a 19-year-old Chinese guy. And I said, what's the scariest thing about artificial intelligence? He said, I'll tell you my scariest thing. I just wrote a paper on this.
Autonomous weapons.
Autonomous weapons. You have 1 million people. You assemble 1 million experts, and you blackmail them. I catch you watching porn. I catch you masturbating. I catch you having an affair. And you have 1 million people sending components for a weapon to one location. And you blackmail them, and you assemble, a biological weapon or something like that. So I don't want to go there. This is something that it's never as bad as you fear, and it's never as good as you hope. So
interesting.
I think that we're at that nexus point, and the Joe Rogan experience can be pivotal, I think, in steering artificial intelligence to be the best that it can be ethically, And I think we have that opportunity right now.
I think the real fear among people that are cynical about artificial intelligence is that it's going to replace us and it will find us irrelevant, and that we're creating a digital life. We're essentially assembling it with all the knowledge of the human race, all the understanding of how human beings interact with each other and how we interface with the world, and we're creating something that has, when you think about computing intelligence, when you think about acquisition of data, the ability to form an understanding of any subject, we're basically there already. And that's just accelerating. And it's going to get to the point where these things become sentient in however you define it. You know, we're already in a situation where, by most people's understanding, it would pass the Turing test.